Welcome to the Consulting Leaders Podcast, where we talk about the business of consulting. Whether you're looking to grow your practice or learn from the stories of leaders in consulting, you're in the right place. I'm your host, Guillaume Jouvencel, ex-PwC and co-founder of GHA Marketing. Join me as I interview the best consultants in their niche. Let's get on with the show.
Welcome to Consulting Leaders Podcast, a place where we talk about the business of consulting. Whether you're looking to grow in your own practice or learn from the stories of leaders in consulting, you're in the right place. I'm your host, John Degnan. Join me as we talk about the best consultants in their niche. Today, we feature Julie Thomas, CEO and President of ValueSelling Associates, where she helps B2B revenue leaders build scalable, value-driven sales engines. With decades of experience and a proven framework adopted globally, she focuses on turning inconsistent sales performance into predictable growth. This conversation is highly relevant for consulting firm owners looking to improve how they sell, position, value, and close higher quality deals. Julie, welcome.
Thank you, John. It's a pleasure to be here today.
Likewise. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, thank you for that lovely introduction. As you mentioned, I am the leader of an organization called ValueSelling Associates. We are a business-to-business sales methodology firm, and we work with organizations that are trying to improve their sales or revenue results by changing or evolving the skills and behaviors of their revenue professionals. So we say we really focus on helping change the mindset, the skill set, and the tool set of the organizations that we work with. And I've been in this sales world for a long time. I was a client of Value Selling before joining the firm as first a trainer and a partner working directly with clients, and now leading the organization across the globe.
You started at Gartner?
I did. I started my career at Gartner, where I was trained in value selling, and I can honestly say that this methodology changed the trajectory of my career.
Interesting. So it was a smooth transition from being a salesperson to actually being a consultant.
Well, there's a lot in common between what I think is the qualities and skills of a high-performing sales rep to a consultant. And at the foundation, it is understanding your customer and asking good questions, because consultants diagnose and then make recommendations to improve. Well, that's really what a good salesperson should also be doing. They should be diagnosing the situation and be making good suggestions to improve.
You created the ValueSelling Framework. Can you elaborate on that?
Sure. I didn't create it. Remember,
Okay.
I joined the company,
Okay.
and I took over from the founder.
Okay.
I've built on it, though, over the years. The value selling framework is really a conversational approach to how you create, advance, and close more opportunities. We were initially kind of created in a time where organizations were training salespeople on product, technology, and they were very good at diagnosing technology problems. If I worked for IBM or Microsoft and I saw gaps in your tech infrastructure or your applications, I was very good at identifying that as a sales professional. What I wasn't good at is really helping the customer build the case to make the investment, because value, no matter what you sell, accrues to the business objectives and is always measured in business terms. So that's how value selling was really kind of created. And we really looked at how do you reverse engineer how a customer buys. One definition of selling is facilitating buying and making it easy for the prospect to understand what you have to offer, how it fits, and why it's worth it. And so in that, our program is really designed for the revenue professional to understand 4 things that the customer has to know in order to make a purchase. Number 1, is this the right product fit, solution fit, service fit for me? Do I need this? If I'm selling elevators, I shouldn't be calling on, 1-story buildings, right? Do I need this? Is there a good product service fit? Number 2, is it worth it? And value, again, is always measured in the customer's outcomes, not your capabilities. Many sales reps will tell you, well, of course I sell value. And they'll tell you why their product is valuable, and often articulate that in features or benefits, not in customer outcomes that are measurable. Number 3, can you buy? We still have many sales reps that struggle to identify who actually has the authority to make the purchase decision. It's like putting together a jigsaw puzzle in the dark without a photo telling you where to go, without a roadmap. So are we talking to the right people? Have we identified, and do we have a strategy to gain access to the right people? And lastly, if I'm selling to you, I want to know, John, when are you going to make the decision? When are you going to buy? And in value selling, we use those outcomes that we've identified in the sales process, expect to realize, to create urgency and momentum with you in order to better predict or forecast when you're actually going to buy. And if a sales rep focuses on those 4 key areas, they're going to win more than they're going to lose, and they're going to disqualify the garbage out of their pipeline faster and stop chasing their tails on unwinnable opportunities.
Got you. What specific problems are you helping other clients solve?
We help clients solve a number of problems. First and foremost, they've identified that their sales productivity is not where it should be. That could be we're not converting enough discovery calls into opportunities. It could be we're not getting enough opportunities in our pipeline to begin with. It could be we're not selling the breadth of our product line, or we're not handling objections, and therefore the reps feel they have to discount in order to win because it's difficult for us to differentiate our solution versus all of the other options that the customer might have. Or maybe we're not just getting to the right people to begin with. Maybe the buying cycle has changed in our clients, and we have great relationships with users, but we're struggling to get to the decision makers from that standpoint. Any of those could be examples of issues that we could help our clients resolve.
Who are your ideal clients today, and who typically holds the decision to bring you in?
So we have 2 different camps of clients. So the first group of client is businesses with teams of sellers. And in those organizations, we are typically working directly with the sales leader, whatever their title is. I mean, that could be chief revenue officer, chief sales officer, chief commercial officer, chief cook and bottle washer. I mean, it's chief something these days, or a VP of sales. Also, we're often brought in by sales enablement or revenue operations, or in some cases, learning and development, because since the foundation of what we do is training, in some situations, learning and development is managed by that learning and development professional. Our second client base is really the individual or a team of people. I'm buying it for me, or I'm buying it for, I'm a solopreneur and I'm trying to sell consulting to a company, or it doesn't even have to be consulting. I'm a solopreneur and I have a business because I'm good at whatever it is I'm selling, but I've never been a seller and I don't know how to sell. So we have created an online experience to build those skills and leverage our proven methodology that's really targeted to those individuals. Some of them are consultants, some of those are coaches, some of those are architects that don't know how to have the sales conversation. They're good at telling them how good they are, but they're not good at making the connections with those buyers. So, so those are our two different ideal customers.
How do clients typically find you, and what's worked best to consistently attract the right B2B opportunities?
Well, that's the challenge right now is getting buyers' attention. So I think there's a couple of things that we do that we are trying to attract and then identify those buyers. Number one, there are some industry organizations that evaluate training companies and create lists of the best companies in this space or whatever. And we work really hard, and we've been on those lists for the last 16 years. And we tend to see a spike in web traffic when those lists are published every year as the best sales training company out there. Number two, we do a lot of content creation, getting articles placed in different periodicals, distributing content on LinkedIn right now. LinkedIn is really our social platform that we spend the most time on. I don't think a VP Sales is going to find me on TikTok or Instagram. And so we do a lot of content and make that out. We obviously have a great website. We're also doing what I think a lot of companies are doing now is trying to find the signals of companies that might be ready to buy. And whether that's using Zoom info, identifying people visiting our website that might be searching for certain things, and then targeting them with some nurture and some outreach to see if there might be an opportunity when they're looking for us to also be looking to gain access to them. We are very fortunate that because we've been in the market for a long time and we've got a great reputation, I would say a good source of new revenue for us is people who were introduced to our programs, maybe as a sales rep, maybe when they worked for one company, they go to another company and now they're in a position of power or leadership, and they're like, aha, let me call those value selling guys. I think that guys and gals, I think they might be able to help us with what we're working through here. So we do a lot to keep in touch with our participants and people we've worked with.
What's your perspective on podcasting as a marketing tool for consultants and sales leaders?
I think it's awesome. I think that's another way to create content and demonstrate your expertise and attract people who are looking and interested in the topics that you talk about. I think this is a great way. Thank you for having me in podcasting. I think people are more likely to listen and watch than read today. I think that's just the reality that we have. I hear more people talk about the podcasts they listen to either when they're going for a walk or they're driving to the office or whatever. That's replaced the radio, that's replaced whatever we used to do in the car at that time, and they're either listening to a book on tape or a podcast or something.
Absolutely. When you're selling to senior revenue leaders with complex buying groups, how do you move from initial interest to assigned engagement?
The first thing you have to do is listen very, very carefully. Because if they feel that you're coming at them with an off-the-shelf, untailored solution that is not unique to their requirements, they will discount you. So when you're talking to a sales leader of any kind, and regardless of what you're selling, I think the first thing you really need to be able to master is listening. And if I'm going to be prepared to listen, I have to master what are the right questions that I need to be asking them. And it's not more questions. It's not a gazillion questions. It's the deliberate, intentional questions that are going to be thoughtful, in some cases provocative, and get them thinking, and go beyond circumstances for you to really be able to add insight and value in that conversation. If you waste any executive's time in your first meeting, the likelihood you get a second meeting is slim.
Absolutely. Absolutely. How do you retain clients over time? And what do you do to endure that they keep coming back for a long-term relationship with you?
Well, I think the first thing is you keep adding value and you evolve with them. So what brought them to us in 2025 and the problems that we might have solved for them might not be the same exact problems in 2026. As a matter of fact, it might even be not even be the same people that are in charge of resolving that. So it's constantly exceeding expectations, adding value. And with our programs, it is how do we become so operationalized in their workflow and in their sales process that it's very difficult to rip us out. And we do that through some of our integrations and our supporting the management process and becoming very operationalized with our clients. A, that's how they're going to get the maximum results. And B, that's how we remain sticky.
Well, speaking of sticky, do you ever get stuck? Do you ever find yourself getting stuck as a consultant leading value selling?
Oh, I think there are lots of times when we get stuck or we perceive to be stuck because maybe we've hit a hurdle and that we haven't hit in the past and we have to find a way around it. I mean, the world that we live in and the pace of change facing everyone today is something that none of us have dealt with. AI is something that none of us have had to deal with right now. I mean, there are people that will think, why do I need a consultant anymore? I can just get Claude to go tell me what to do. Claude doesn't have the wisdom. Claude doesn't have the insight. And we know that a lot of things that are common sense are not common practice in a lot of organizations. I mean, I was just reading something the other day and the person said, the devil is in the details sometimes for consultants, for trainers, for everybody. The things that are the easiest things to do are also the things that are the easiest things not to do. So it's really easy to brush my teeth twice a day. It's really easy to go to bed without brushing my teeth if for whatever reason that's what I choose to do. Right? So the easy things to do are often the easy things not to do. And oftentimes we let our experience become our enemy. Well, I got that deal. I won that new account this time and I didn't have to do all that. So maybe I don't have to do that next time. And I think that is some of the hurdles that we get in our own way sometimes. Our experience can sometimes become our enemy because we stop being curious.
I saw an interesting tidbit about you. You serve on the advisory board of the eWomen Network Foundation. Can you tell us more about that?
Yes. So eWomen Network is a global organization that supports women entrepreneurs across the world in with education and training and community and all kinds of different deliverables. When I first joined Value Selling, I was a sales professional. I was an accidental entrepreneur. I had no idea how to be a business owner or a CEO. And I don't know, I got this blind email that there was this conference for women. So I went and I fell in love with the organization and I got involved with their foundation. Their foundation supports other not-for-profits, primarily in the U.S. that support women and children. And I fell in love with the foundation, so I got involved, both financially and with some of my time. And a number of years ago, I was asked to be on their advisory council. So they give out grants to not-for-profits. They recognize rising women business leaders across the globe. And I participate in their events and their gifting of the foundation through that, and it's really rewarding and exciting work that they're doing.
That's great. You also contribute to Forbes magazine as a writer. You've written 2 books yourself about value selling. Would you like to promote your books?
Absolutely. I'd like to promote my most recent book. So The
Okay.
Power of Value Selling, available wherever books are sold. The Power of Value Selling, I published last year. My first book was called Value Selling, Driving Sales Up One Conversation at a Time. And that was written in 2006. So the new book, which was written published in 2024, Power of Value Selling, the gold standard in driving revenue and creating customers for life, is available wherever books are sold and on audiobooks. And it is a great primer on how you compete on value and not show up and throw up what you do and how you do it, but really engage clients in a different conversation today.
Interesting. Looking ahead, where do you see the biggest opportunities for value-based sales training and consulting next couple of years?
Well, it's interesting because in the space that we operate in, there is a ton of sales technology that promises to improve sales productivity. From the last 10 years on, there's been anywhere I've seen 5,000 to 7,000 vendors selling technology that promises to solve the sales productivity problem. Yet it still has not been solved. So I think that in the age of AI, how we show up and engage in conversation is more important than ever. Because if technology solved these problems, they would have been solved a long time ago. If for the types of stuff that our customers sell and that your audience is selling, if you're selling consulting, I just don't believe that AI is going to replace that. I think if I am hiring a consultant, I want to look you eyeball to eyeball. I want to trust you. I want to know your point of view. I want to know your background. I want to know your track record. But I'm still hiring you to do the work. And I think that is true in training too. Now, what we train on, some of the things that we've had to train on in the past, is changing. We used to train people on how to do account research. You don't need to do that anymore. AI can take care of that. AI will read the annual report and tell you their top key issues. AI can map the organization for you. But now I need the critical thinking skills that maybe I gained through that research process that now that helps me figure out how do I apply that in a strategic way to create an opportunity. So I do think what we train on is going to change slightly, and some of the things that we had to train on is going to go away because those tasks will be automated. But I don't think that training is going away in sales. Universities are not developing sales professionals, generally speaking. More and more of them do have a class or two in sales. But even if you're a minor in sales at a well-known university, and we're involved with a number of universities, if you go work for a large company, they're going to teach you their way. So I don't think that goes away.
Interesting. Okay. If people want to find out more about you and see what you do, where should they go?
So there's 2 places. I'm not hard to find.
Okay.
The first one is our website is very easy to find, ValueSelling.com. You can learn more about our framework and everything we do on ValueSelling.com. Second of all, you can find me on LinkedIn, Julie Thomas with Value Selling. Very easy to find. And if you want to talk to me directly, just send me an email. And again, it's not hard. Julie.thomas@valueselling.com. I do return my own emails. I even answer my phone every once in a while. So I'd be happy to talk to you.
Okay, we'll put all the links in the description. Julie, thank you so much for coming on Consulting Leaders. We really appreciate it today. I enjoyed it.
We appreciate it. Awesome. Have a great day.
You too.
Thank you for listening.
No problem.
Thanks for joining us on this episode of the Consulting Leaders Podcast. We hope you learned valuable lessons on how to grow your practice and take your business to the next level. Make sure to subscribe and leave us a review wherever you're listening to this show so you never miss an episode. To apply and be a guest on the show, click the link in the description. See you next time.